Hey Grand Park community, it's Courtney. I really hope you're taking good care of yourself in this time, and I'm really glad you're here today to do just that. So I want to remind all of us today that having a practice is a really helpful way to remind yourself of yourself, to remind yourself what's in your heart, to remind yourself what is true. I know there's just like a lot shifting around in the world, and I think it's all our own personal responsibilities to really ground ourselves so that we can approach others, approach the world with a sense of truth and love and kindness. And this time on the mat is not in vain. It's really, really fundamental for me, I know. To really carve out just even a little bit of space so that we do show up to ourselves, so that we do know ourselves, so that we can actually go out and make real change in the world. And let's do that today. And I just want to say also, it doesn't have to be a yoga practice. So a physical practice is really helpful to me, but running, cooking, anything that grounds you, that calms you, that maybe offers you a little time for reflection, away from the chaos of worry and future thinking and other narratives, can be really healthy so that we can stay calm, stay true, stay the course. So let's come to find our comfortable seat if you're not there already. Resting your palms down on your thighs, settling your shoulders away from your ears. See if you can find a length of your spine by taking your head far up from your tailbone, but keeping your sit bones grounded to the floor or a chair if you're in a chair. Let's go ahead and close our eyes and draw ourselves in. So tuning into your own heart, to your own breath, to your own body in space. And just start to locate your breath, allowing that connection to your breath to connect you to the here and the now, to your heart, to your body, to yourself. And then maybe taking just a slight amount of control over your own breath. So choosing a breath that will ground you. And that might be a little different for all of us. It might mean a slower breath, a fuller breath, maybe just an awareness of breath. And then let's all just place our hands on our hearts. See if you can feel the beat of your own heart, the rhythm of your own heart. And allow that connection to also draw you into the here and the now of your body. Drawing your hands together in a gesture of prayer at your heart, bowing your chin into your chest. And just offering the space to set an intention if that is something that you would like today. So something you want to work with, a word, a mantra, a state of being, something that's already within you that's positive, that you would like to remember or recover. And then from here, let's start in a child's pose. So finding your knees to be wider than your hips, taking the big toes to touch, sinking your hips back for your heels, and then either reaching your arms up and overhead or taking your hands down by your feet. And do whatever you need to do to really allow yourself to ground into this posture. So if your forehead doesn't naturally touch the ground, it's okay. Maybe stacking your fists and resting your fists underneath your forehead. Maybe taking a pillow or a blanket and placing it underneath your forehead. If your hips aren't reaching your heels, go ahead and support the hips with a pillow or a blanket. So forehead resting down, hips resting down, shoulders coming away from ears. Offering yourself to your practice today. So surrendering your heart. Not showing up with any expectations, just showing up with ourselves, with our commitment to being here, to make space, to ground, whatever intention you're working with. From here, we'll come on up to our hands and knees stacked underneath hips, wrists stacked underneath shoulders, fingers are nice and wide. And then let's go ahead and just start by moving in our spine a little bit. So the belly drops on the inhale, the heart rises up to the sky. And then as you exhale, rounding in your upper back, nose comes in towards your belly button, curving a lot in your spine. Inhale, the belly drops, the heart rises. Exhale, curling everything up and in. 2 more times. Inhale, the belly drops, the heart rises. Exhale, curling everything up and in. Inhale, the belly drops, the heart rises. Exhale, curl everything up and in. Find your neutral spine. Walk your hands a little bit farther forward. So 1 handprint forward, maybe 2. Tuck your toes and we'll send our hips up and back for downward facing dog. So we're just getting started. Probably a lot of bend in your knees. Armpits hug in. So the upper arms are hugging in, really active, supporting the weight of your upper body so the wrists aren't doing it. Let's place the weight forward into our knuckles so the wrists are really light. The heels are reaching towards the earth even if they don't touch. The heart is reaching back for the thighs. Let your head go completely. Shake it yes and no if you don't know if you're holding it. And then on your inhale, rolling forward to a plank. Belly scooping up into the spine, hips come in line with the shoulders. Exhale, hips come up and back, downward facing dog. Just flowing through a few of these. Inhale, forward to a plank. Exhale, hips come up and back, down dog. 1 more time. Inhale, forward to a plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's walk our hands back for the feet. Bending your knees again as much as you need. We're still early in the practice. Support the backs of your legs. Maybe fingertips dangle. Maybe outer hands grab for outer elbows. Let yourself feel yourself connected to the earth here. Let your head go. And then notice what's happening in your feet. Press down into all parts of your feet. Feet glued to the floor. And from the stability of the earth, start to roll yourself up. Stacking yourself on yourself, standing tall in your mountain pose. So feet are hip distance still. Arms are out to the side. Thighs are pressing back slightly. Shoulders melting away from the ears, gazing at eye level. Check in with your jaw, check in with your shoulders, settle everything down. And then on your next inhale, rise your arms tall. Exhale, fold your heart, little or big bend in your knees, let your head go. Inhale, hands to shins, halfway lift, flat back. Tailbone reaching away from your head. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms sweep up, press down into your feet. Exhale, draw your hands to your heart. 2 more times, connecting your breath with your movement. Inhale, rise your arms. Maybe you look up. Exhale, fold your heart for your thighs. Bend your knees if you need. Inhale, heart rises. Head away from tailbone, flat back. Exhale, fold yourself in half. Inhale, arms sweep tall to the sky. Exhale, draw hands into heart. 1 more time. Inhale, arms flow tall. Exhale, heart folds for thighs, maybe bending your knees. Inhale, heart lifts, head reaches away from tailbone. Exhale, fold yourself in half. Inhale, rise your arms tall. Keep your arms up. Grab your left wrist with your right hand. Press down into your left foot and reach up and over towards the right. So grounding down, especially in that left foot. Settle the shoulders away from the ears. Gentle side stretch. So don't push it too much, but find space in the left side of your body with your breath. Next inhale takes you back to center. Exhale, the right wrist gets grabbed by the left hand. Press into your right foot and reach up and over towards the left. So breathing into the right side body. Settling the shoulders down, gazing at one point. Feel those feet supporting you underneath you. And then we'll inhale back to center. Let's interlace our palms, our fingers, and send the palms up to the sky. So you can put as much bend in your elbows as you need. Settle the shoulders away from the ears. And then as you exhale, release your hands down towards your sides. Mountain pose. Let's pause here. Settle the shoulders down. Connect with your breath. Maybe close your eyes. Feel your feet underneath you. Open your eyes. Inhale, rise your arms tall. Exhale, fold yourself in half. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. This time on the exhale, we'll set the hands down, step yourself back to plank. And then exhale, hips come up and back, downward facing dog. Looking towards your hands, step your right foot for your right hand, spin your back foot flat, press into your feet, rise up. From your feet, warrior one. So big sink of the right thigh, left foot and left leg is really active here. So pressing into the outer edge of your back foot, arms are stacked over your shoulders, shoulders are coming away from your ears. Soften your jaw, maybe lighten your face, maybe open your heart, maybe look up and back a little bit. And then exhale, the hands come down to the floor. Right foot steps back, downward facing dog. Looking towards your hands. Next inhale, left foot steps. Back foot spins flat. Keep inhaling to rise yourself tall. Warrior one on the left. So use the strength of your right thigh as much as you're using your left thigh. So really activating that back leg by pressing into the outer edge of your foot. So lots of support from lots of areas in the body. So not just one part of us is working. All parts are working. Sinking into your hip, rising your heart, shoulders away from ears, jaw soft. Maybe you look up and back slightly. And then exhale, the hands come down. Come on back, downward facing dog. So either 5 breaths here, or if you need to rest, please take care of yourself and find your child's pose. Wherever you are, really feel what's ever touching earth, touch earth. Feel your breath moving through. If you're in your child's pose, you're welcome to stay there. If you want to join us in down dog, come on up. Looking towards your hands, step your feet. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, sink your heart for your thighs, forward fold. Inhale, rise your arms tall to the sky. Exhale, draw your hands to your heart. So we're going to flow a few times. See if you can keep connecting your breath to your movement. Stay grounded in whatever is touching earth. Inhale, rise your arms. Exhale, fold your heart. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands come down, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot steps, back foot spins flat. Keep inhaling up for warrior one. Exhale, hands come down, step right foot back, downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot steps, back foot spins flat, come on up, warrior one. Exhale, hands come down, step left foot back, downward facing dog. Couple breaths here. Again, feel what's touching earth, touch earth. Feel the breath moving through. 2 more rounds or not, you can rest. Looking between hands, step feet. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold heart, release head. Inhale, arms sweep tall to sky. Exhale, draw hands to heart. Inhale, arms raise tall to sky. Exhale, fold heart for thighs, let your head go. Inhale, halfway lift, head away from tail. Exhale, hands come down, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot steps, back foot spins flat, warrior one. Exhale, hands come down, right foot steps back, downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot steps, back foot spins flat, warrior one. Exhale, hands come down, left foot steps back, downward facing dog. Couple breaths here. Allow yourself to ground down. Looking towards your hands, step your feet or rest. One last round. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold heart, let head go. Inhale, arms sweep tall to the sky. Exhale, draw hands to heart. Inhale, arms sweep for sky. Exhale, fold the body in half. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, hands come down, downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot steps, back foot spins flat, warrior one. Exhale, hands come down, right foot steps back, downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot steps, back foot spins flat, warrior one. Exhale, hands come down, back foot steps back for right, downward facing dog. Let's take a child's pose, knees come wider than the hips. Big toes come together to touch, sink your hips for your heels. Settle your forehead either down on the floor or your stacked fists. Let yourself settle down, settle in, regain control of your breath. Maybe notice the state of your body, of your mind, if anything has shifted, how you're doing. And then option to stay here if you need more rest, or finding your way back through to downward facing dog. We're going to start with the left foot this time, stepping left foot in between your hands. Back foot spins flat. This time we're in a heel to arch alignment. The hips are going to open towards the right. We're in a warrior two. So arms spread out from the shoulders. Big sink of that left hip. The back foot is coming in slightly. And we're finding a lot of space here. So we're sending our arms out. We're playing with all the different planes of the body, right? We're reaching forward, back. We're reaching towards the sides, settling the shoulders away from the ears. How's your breath? What's touching you underneath you, feet grounding down? On your next inhale, extend your left leg straight. Take your left toes in, face your right toes towards the back. And then we'll sink into our warrior two on the right. So big space. Shoulders settling away from ears, gazing over your right middle finger. How's your breath here? How can you ground down? How can you be here in your body? How can you support yourself with your breath? On your next inhale, extend your right leg. This time we're going to take the toes to point in. The heels are going to go slightly out. So we're in a big, wide-legged shape. Feet are probably 3 to 4 feet. Hands come to your hips. Inhale, lift your heart. Little baby back bend. And then keeping the length of your spine, start to fold your heart forward. Take your hands maybe down to the floor, or blocks or a blanket underneath there if you can't quite reach. Listen to the backs of your legs, so bend your knees any amount. And notice if you're resistant to bending your knees. So we don't create space by contracting and holding. We create space by supporting ourselves and breathing. So you'll get actually a better stretch if you bend your knees and breathe more fully than if you just kind of try to force something and hold your breath. Let your head go here. Take your hands to your hips. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, press yourself all the way up. Heel toe your feet in so they're just a little bit wider than your hips. This time we'll send the toes out, the heels come in, and we'll squat down to a yogi squat. So this might not be for you, listen to that, but also listen to ways that you can support yourself. So if it's like really uncomfortable for you to do this, you might come to sit up on something. So you might fold a blanket or something underneath your seat. You could also, if your heels are coming up, you could put a blanket underneath your heels so that the heels meet contact with the floor. Or you can just come to sit on your bum if this is not for you today. Listen to that. Drawing your hands in a gesture at your heart, maybe pressing your elbows slightly into your inner knees if you're in the squat. And then wherever you are, see if you can find a lot of length between your head and your tailbone. So if I had a string on your head and your tailbone and I was pulling them away from each other, let that help you find length. Let your shoulders come away from your ears. And then here, just notice what's touching the ground. Notice if you're resisting the ground and see if you can allow yourself the support of the ground. So how often do we resist support, right? So teach yourself here how to receive support. Let yourself ground down. Maybe close your eyes, feel into your hips, into your calves, into your heart, whatever is feeling strained right now. Soften it with your breath, meet it with your breath, be in the truth of it with your breath. And then take your hands behind your seat, go ahead and sit down. Soles of the feet come together, knees come wide here. And maybe you're already in your pose. So if this is already feeling like a lot of stretch for the inner thighs, maybe take the hands behind the hips and chill out here. If you're like, I don't feel anything, and you want a little bit more stretch, hands come around your feet, rise your heart tall, and then maybe start to slide your heart down for the mat or the floor. And we want to find that sweet spot where we feel a little bit of constriction or tightness, but we can meet it with our breath. So the breath is flowing through to release some tension or tightness wherever we are meeting it with the breath. And then just check in with the rest of yourself that's not working. So notice if you're transferring tension to your hands, to your jaw, to your neck, to your shoulders. And it's through our awareness and noticing that we can shift our behaviors, right? So settling the shoulders away doesn't happen until we notice the shoulders are up. Just like in life, yoga is a practice of awareness, noticing. And through noticing, we can shift our behaviors if we need to. On your next inhale, rise your beautiful heart up. Take your legs out, so we're in an L shape. And if your hamstrings are really tight today, you might come to sit up on something. So that's going to create more space for the backs of the legs. So sitting up on a pillow, sitting up on a blanket. We're going to come into a little bit of twisting here. So some gentle open twisting. Bend your right knee. Take your right foot up and over your left thigh. So you can still do this if you're up on your pillow or your blanket. So the right knee's bent. The right foot's up and over the left thigh. The left elbow is cradling the right shin below the knee. Right arm comes tall to the sky. And you use that raising of your hand to find that length. So almost like you're pulling your head up, that string on your head up. And then tap your right hand down behind you. So maybe to the base of your spine, maybe out a little farther. My arms are really long, so most people can put their hand to the base of the spine and find length, but that doesn't work for me. So arms somewhere behind you, find the length, find your shoulders away from your ears. And then maybe start gently to offer your heart towards the back. How's your breath? Next time you exhale, release yourself forward, extend your left leg straight, bend your the right leg goes straight, bend your left knee, take your left foot up and over the right thigh. The right elbow cradles into the left shin, rise your left arm tall, and then tap your left hand down, maybe to the base of your spine, maybe out a little bit. Again, imagine that string pulling you up to find the length of your spine, and then maybe start to gently turn your heart towards the back of your space. How's How's your breath? Notice what's touching earth. On your exhale, release forward and extend your left leg out to meet your right. We're going to take this next stretch nice and gently. So we're coming in for a forward fold. We're not forcing it. We're approaching ourselves with our breath. So maybe sitting up on something. Find that tall spine. Rise your arms tall. Keep as much bend in your legs as you need and fold your heart for your toes. Hands come wherever they want to come. So maybe out to the side, maybe around your shins, your ankles, your feet, right below your knees, whatever you can reach for. But see if you can keep your spine long here. So instead of rounding over a lot, can you lift your heart for your toes? Send your shoulders away from your ears. Couple breaths. Notice any resistance and allow the floor and your breath to support you. See if you can watch yourself take 2 more really full inhales, really full exhales. Releasing something that you don't want to hold anymore. On your inhale, rise yourself up. We're going to come in for legs up something, legs up the wall, legs up a dresser, legs up a closet door. So any space in your space where you can place your legs in an L shape up the wall or something. So a refrigerator works great. Anything that's not going to open up, like don't use your front door if someone might come in. So we'll tuck ourselves close into whatever we're putting our legs up. So the hip is in, the shoulder is in. Come on down to your elbows. Make sure everything's still tucked in tightly to the wall, the dresser, the refrigerator. That's going to save you time later on. And then go ahead and shimmy yourself towards facing whatever you're putting your legs up. And then send your legs up the wall, or the dresser, or the refrigerator. Your butt is as close to the thing you're putting your legs up as possible. And if you didn't quite get there, if your bum is way far away from what you're putting yourself up against, don't like shimmy yourself and tweak your back. Come on down and set yourself up so you're nice and snug and taut to whatever you are putting your legs up. And then here, take whatever feels good in the arms. So maybe you just want to take the arms wide. Maybe it would feel nice to rest your hands on your chest or your belly or your heart in your belly. And then I would highly recommend closing your eyes and being in touch with yourself. If that doesn't feel good, you could take a soft gaze at the ceiling, but try to keep yourself centered. Try to keep yourself grounded in the space of this pose. This is a restorative yoga pose. This pose is really great for reshifting our focus, for calming our nervous system, for helping with cramps, with a bad mood, with a lot of things. So I'm going to be quiet just to give us all the space to really enjoy and be here. So I'll call us back in a couple minutes. Maybe focus your awareness on your breath or just how this pose feels. From here, if your eyes are closed, gently flutter them open. We're going to get out of this nice and slow. So first, just starting by sliding your heels down to where your knees just were, resting the soles of your feet against the wall or whatever you're putting your legs up. And then rolling over to one side, making a little shelf or a little pillow for your head with your inner arm. Go ahead and rest here for a breath or two. Feel yourself being supported by the floor. And then with your free hand, pressing yourself up. And then I'm going to invite you to just take a comfortable position on your back. So I'm going to come up to the screen just to talk us through some breaths and some finishing stuff. But you'll find a comfortable position on your back. And go ahead and cover yourself if that would feel nice. You can come to a flat position. You could also bend your knees and place the soles of your feet underneath your knees if that's more comfortable. Really choosing a position that will be soft and comfortable for you. And then once you arrive there, really commit to being there. So let all the wiggles go, the distractions go. Don't look at your phone. Give yourself some space to just kind of finish out your practice. So from here, we're just going to finish with 3 breaths and then a couple minutes of rest. This to me is the most important part of the practice, so that we can just feel into our bodies and experience the benefits of having a practice. So from where you are, if you want to close your eyes, that would be a nice thing to do. We'll come in for our 3 count inhale, and then we'll do a long exhale from the mouth. So first, let the breath come out of the body. Through your nose, inhale to your belly and pause. Through your nose, inhale to your heart and pause. Through your nose, inhale to the top of your head and pause. Through your mouth, let it all go. 2 more times. Inhale, breath to your belly and pause. Inhale, breath to your heart and pause. Inhale, breath to the top of your head and pause. From your mouth, sigh the breath out. Through your nose, inhale the breath to belly and pause. Through the nose, inhale breath to the heart and pause. Through the nose, inhale to top of head and pause. From your mouth, release the sigh out. And then we'll slip off into just a couple minutes of rest. So this is called Savasana, corpse pose, giving yourself the space to receive the benefits of your practice and to transition back into our days. So just a couple minutes here. So keeping everything the same in your body, just starting to bring some more breath in or some more awareness of your breath. Letting it fill into every little crevice of your body. New life, new space, new opportunity, new perspective. And then starting to find any small movements, maybe some little wiggles, maybe some little sways. Maybe taking your arms up and overhead for a full body stretch. Eventually rolling over to your right side, making a little pillow for your head with your inner arm. And then whenever you're ready, pressing yourself up, drawing your hands in a gesture at your heart, bowing your chin into that beautiful heart. Close your eyes. Let's take one more breath together. So let your breath fall out. Drawing breath in through the nose. Releasing breath out of the nose. And maybe here just acknowledging the benefits of having a practice. In yoga philosophy, we call this tapas, discipline, the willingness to keep showing up, to keep knowing the truth of our own hearts and minds, so that we can share the state of being with our world that desperately needs us. The light in me acknowledges the light in all of you. Thank you so much for being here, for making this time. Please stay well, and I'll see you again soon. Thank you, yogis. Bye-bye.